I am here in Mayo, Florida, which is a little bitty town. You can see it doesn't go much further than that traffic light right there. In fact, I'm on the edge of town right now. The only reason I'm even here is because a year ago they had changed their name to Miracle Whip, and I just wanted to see if it was still on the water tower, and well, alas, they've gone back to Mayo. It was just a PR thing, and of course Miracle Whip made a considerable donation to the parks department around here, so I just wanted to see it. Now I've been here, and I mean I can spit the length of town. So let's get back on the road. This is Steinhatchee, which is just as far west as you can get before the Steinhatchee rolls out until the Gulf. I have been driving around for a few minutes, and it doesn't take long. It's a little bitty place, but it is a really nice, tidy little town. It's all about fishing here. Of course, there's a couple of sailing boats here, and a couple of restaurants. One of them looks pretty good. I may have to try that out. But it is a tidy little town. Gulf of Mexico is down there about, I don't know, half mile, 3/4 mile, something like that. Nice place, Steinhatchee. I like it. This is far west side of Steinhatchee. The Gulf is just right there. Down that way about, oh, I don't know, 10-15 miles is Suwannee, and another, I guess, 5 miles past that is Cedar Key. But this is the far end right here. You just can't get much further than this. I have driven a little ways back in there, but you can't see much. It's kind of marshy and mangrovey back in there. I'm right here at Roy's restaurant, and I can smell that fish cooking in there, and it smells good too. I may go in there and get something to eat here in a couple of minutes. But this is about as far west as you can get in Steinhatchee. See if I can get a little closer up here. Well, it just isn't gonna matter. It's another, oh, I don't know, suppose half mile right there is the Gulf. This is where I'm staying tonight. This is Rocky's Convenience Store and Campground, which I've heard of before. It always kind of tickled my funny bone, so I wanted to stay here. Really tidy little store in there. They have usual convenience store stuff, plus, well, it's just a really tidy store. Tons of fishing gear if you need lures and line and so forth. They have a deli in there, and they start serving breakfast 4:30 in the morning. Biscuits and gravy and that sort of stuff, so I'm probably going to have to do that. And the campground is right there. It's a tidy little place. You can get your shower, got Wi-Fi. It's, well, let's just go on over there. You can see it is a nice, tidy little campground. It's a small campground. I don't know how many are here, not a whole lot, but they keep it nice and tidy. A lot of pull-throughs right there. A couple of extras in here. This where I'm standing right now is if you need power, but the way I'm set up, I don't need power, so I can park back here in what they call primitive parking. I wish I could hold this a little steadier. There we go. Let's try to steady this. But you can see I'm pretty well set up. Everything is good. I'm pretty well ready to go. I'm even in the shade. It's a nice little area. I recommend this place. I like it. I hadn't even been here. I haven't been here an hour yet. I like it. we'll get started in the panhandle from Perry tomorrow morning after I have some biscuits and gravy.
Okay, so day one of my car camping shakedown trip. I am a little bit west of Perry, Florida. I started at 7 o'clock this morning, and if I would have just driven here, it's about a 220-mile trip. But I've been on the road for 11 hours. I put about 430 miles on the car. I was, of course, taking all the little back roads anyway, but I took a whole lot of little back roads and saw a lot of little towns. And I just dilly-dallied all day, which to me is the point. Is go where you want to go and see what you want to see. I'm in no rush. Of course, now that I've seen how many miles and how much time I can dilly-dally away in a day, I may supervise myself a bit more tomorrow. But right now, I'm at Rocky's Campground. It's a nice little place. It's nice and cool. It's been a great day. And we'll start the panhandle from just west of Perry tomorrow morning.
This might be a better look at it around here. This is right where the spring comes up. It's just really a nice look. You can see how clear, well, hopefully you can see how clear these springs are. There's a real deep hole right here off this tower. That may not show up. And there's a group of people who look like they're getting ready to go on the little boat tour. Some people coming down here, they look like they have swim shorts on. Golly. April in Florida is cold. I'm not going in that water. Nice area. Stack of rusty old cars on the side of the road. Yeah, I'm probably going to stop. Well, it's sad these things sat here and rotted away, because there are a couple of real cool vehicles in here that you certainly would have liked to have had. Oh well. Well, I'm not going to go any further here. That road right there, that's Alligator Point down there, and that's right now it's pretty much a locals road. You can get there if you want to, but obviously these people have things to do. There's a little destruction. This is what's left after Hurricane Michael 6-8 months ago. I've seen some blowdown around here, and I've seen a little damage on some of the places here on this road, as well as down on Ball Point. And of course, some of them fared pretty well. I expected with that road blown out it might be a little worse, but I guess they're all happy it's not any worse than it was. But down there is Alligator Point, where I wanted to go, but I'm not going to go down. I am out at the point of Port St. Joe Peninsula, as far as I am going to go. The road goes on a bit further, well, a substantial amount further right there, but it's all been wiped out by the hurricane so bad it's down to one lane, and that's not complete. They just let you go through one lane at a time, and they let you know it's kind of rough and incomplete and filled with holes and patches and so forth, so I'm not going down there. Windy day out here today, and also A little bit chilly. It's Florida, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm telling you now, it cannot be over 72 degrees. That's as far out Port St. Joe Peninsula as you can go right now, or you should be going in a car like mine. 4-wheel drive, knock yourself out. I'm really amazed at how well Apalachicola made it through Hurricane Michael, except right down here on the river. And I have been waiting all day to come here to have something to eat. This is Boss Oyster, which I haven't been to since my brother and sister-in-law came out years ago for Thanksgiving, and we ate there, and I was gonna get some oysters there, and it was apparently damaged enough that it's closed, as well as other places around here. But overall, the town has done really well. It has a lot of really neat old buildings in it, so all those have done really well through this all thing. Morning from Alligator Point west, you could see signs of Hurricane Michael, but starting at Port St. Joe through Beacon Hill and here into Mexico Beach, man, it is remarkable. There are parts that look like it did after Andrew, which I believe was 92, and Andrew was huge, a much larger storm, but right here where it hit, it is significant. Wow. All right, last night I stayed at EdontheBeach State Park. Nice park. Got a lot of good size sites, which put good size vehicles in here and take care of them. They got everything you need. These people here really camped out. They brought flowers and everything else. And then look at that. When you're just in a wagon, man, you have got space to get going. It's like for me, even packed way deep in here, I've got a volleyball court in the backyard in the lower 40. It's really nice. I got a fire pit, table, place to hang clothes, and look at here, water and electricity. It's got all the good stuff. Here's something I've learned in the last couple nights car camping. Even in Florida at night, when you go to bed and when you wake up, it's gonna be cold. There's people way through the back there. Here are a couple car camping tips just for you. First, get some of this. It is instant oatmeal. This is maple and brown sugar. It's good. In fact, I have it more often than I ever thought I would. You just boil up some water, throw this in a bowl, stir it up. In a few minutes, you've got a nice warm bowl of oatmeal. The trick is to remember and bring a bowl in which to mix it up in. I am a doofus. Here's another tip for you. If you're cruising down the road with your inverter and you have gadgets like I do that need batteries, get these in a loop batteries. They're from Panasonic, I believe. They last a long time. You can recharge them infinitely. They last a long time and rechargeable for a long time. What's the trick here, boys and girls? Remember to bring the charger with you that charges said batteries. Doofus. In fact, today would be classified as a double doofus day. Thank you. This is along the beach in the Gulf Coast Seabird Sanctuary. You'll get a break out here in a second or so. You can see that the waves are really up. There's a lot of wind, a lot of waves today. I actually was in a hurry to get to Fort Pickens by 11:30 so that I could watch the Blue Angels practice, but the wind has really whipped up and it's thrown in a lot of clouds, so I doubt there will be a practice today. So I'm just meandering along a little bit west of, there's a bump in the road, west of Navarre Beach, and here is how it once looked along all these beaches. I'm going to say it's probably 700 or 800 yards wide right through this particular spot. But it's all sand, and the dunes that kind of keep the sand here, or the dunes of course are built up from years and years and years, and they kind of keep the water back and the big waves back. Of course, those are rapidly leaving the Gulf Coast. But it's pretty neat driving along where there's just zero development going on. I'd like to get out there. There are a couple of spots to get out there, but it's just so windy. You really can't make a video. The wind noise is tremendous. It's actually quieter and a better look in the car. We'll just keep rolling along this road and eventually get to Fort Pickens. I'm here at Fort Pickens, right on the very tip of the island between the Gulf of Mexico and Pensacola Bay. Turns out I should have come on out for the Blue Angels because they actually did practice. As I was driving up, I saw them do a couple of maneuvers. As then I parked the car, they went into land. So I just missed them by lollygagging around. Still, you can see it's kind of cloudy, and you can probably hear it's really windy here. You can see where a lot of it has fallen down over the years. I don't know if that's from Civil War or not, to tell you the truth. This was Civil War, of course. Right there for the old ones. Right here on the sign where the other one is, 300-pound cannonball on this thing. That's a bunch of gun. There's the other side of the fort over there. All of this thing is built with St. Joe brick. There are gajillions of them in here. Well, I have wanted to be here for some time, and now I have gone and done it. I am at Floribama Bar, and literally on the other side of that fence is Alabama. These people who have just no sense of humor put a parking lot there. This is Floribama Bar. I was going to sit out here and have something to eat and throw chicken bones in the Alabama pits. It's awful windy and it's awful cold. I might not do that. But I at least made it to Floribama Bar. Well, I was going to try to get up those stairs right there, but that's office employees only up there at the top. But you kind of have an idea what the place looks like right here in one of the little main courtyards here. If it weren't so windy and chilly, it'd be nice out here. But I can see where I can see exactly how this turns into party town. Let's go see up there. This is my setup at Big Lagoon State Park. Another nice place. Table, fire pit, clothesline, water, electricity. If I didn't have my car in the way, we could play croquet over here. But nice space. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get myself worked in, because there is big weather action in Alabama supposedly headed this way, and major weather action, tornado weather action, so it might be quite the adventure this evening. We'll see how all this works out, but it's a nice spot. And I mean, ocean is just right there. I'm a hop, skip, and jump from Perdido Key. In fact, now that I think about it, I think I may actually be on Perdido Key, or just off it. Anywho, it's a nice spot. And of course, this is why they call it Big Lagoon Park. You are right on the Big Lagoon. There is a place about, I don't know, a quarter-mile walk from my site to get here. It is right up there. But I came a little further just to show you this. They have this pretty cool pavilion here. And you can actually rent it. Which, I don't know, well, I guess there are people who would want to do that, but it's a pretty nice place. And this, I'm guessing, as you walk, is a half a mile from my campsite, but it doesn't have as nice a picnic area as the place closer to my campsite, but still pretty neat. And way over there you can see where you can see a couple of high-rises out on Perdido. I am at De Leon Springs State Park, and I can hardly believe that there are people in here swimming today, because it is cold and springs are cold. But there's a good group of people here and swimming. You can follow some trails on around over here that follow the spring until the spring, I think they call it Spring Run here. And you can follow it all around until it flows out into Sandy Creek down the way. Just a real pretty park. I was here once before, the year I got out of the service, with my squadron mate Kurt Richardson and his wife Becky. It was the year I got out of the service in 1973. The swimming hole here still looks the same, but they've made some nice little pavilions. You can see them there. There's another one over there. Nice little buildings. They've really done a nice job on this park. And if you're out for a day just to swim in a spring, man, this is a great place to go. I had a blast here when I was last year, and if it weren't cold, I'd get in it right now, because there is just nothing as refreshing as swimming in a spring. Really, really nice park. This is the Falling Waters at Falling Waters State Park. Pretty significant fall right there. There's been some hurricane damage, so they're fixing some things back up. You used to go down here, but they're redoing all that. But still, that's pretty impressive, I think, for Florida. This is part of, one of the things about Falling Waters Park are the sinkholes, and of course, this is one of those sinkholes that brings you Falling Waters. There's a little lake up over the other side here. Let's go look at that little lake. But I think this is pretty neat. I've never seen this before. And this is the little lake where the water from the Falling Waters comes from. It's actually been dammed up so that there's always a supply of water to that falls over there, but nonetheless, it's kind of an idyllic little spot in the middle of the forest, wouldn't you say? I like it. It is a double red flag day at St. George Island today. In fact, I understand it's double red flag past Panama City. Big wind, heavy rip currents, nobody is allowed in the water. You can stroll the beach, but man, is it cold out here. I'm not going to be here very long. This right here, St. George Island State Park, would have been my favorite campsite last night, but I got skunked. I got in the interior of the panhandle, no cell reception, and couldn't get here by 7 o'clock when they shut the gate, so I was out. I really upset about it too, because this would the sites and the facilities are just first rate here as well, but just look at this.